Super heavy samurais. Yeah, actually, you're going to get the chance to see some of the coolness of the format. Come on, 34% of you. You guys, I know you want free holiday stuff. We have another cool gem deck box to cook up for today, as long as you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more of these. So today, like I just said, we're doing another gem deck box from the Project Vault. These will be available in 2023, so obviously, if you guys want to, get the chance to walk away with one of these, please, leave the comment down below. It shares with the algorithm, gives a chance for everybody else to see the video, and then the previous winner is going to be down there as well. I don't really have much to talk about today in the way of giveaways and things. Oh, there is one thing. The Christmas Eve Tournament of Madness registration is up. Now, I'm going to leave a link down below to our Discord so that you can join this. We'll be doing a free tournament on Christmas Eve, which will have Pyramid backing it up. If you guys don't know who Pyramid is, they are a map making company, and it is going to be an absolute amazing time. All right, there's going to be so many prizes just for participation, for the chance for players that want to stick around for the random giveaways throughout the night. It's meant to give people a chance to come together on Christmas Eve, that when they get done with their family, they want to sit back and have something to do, relax, and just kind of have a good time that night. That's basically what my plan is for those particular things. And if you want to watch some of the most hilarious gameplay during that time, you'll have the opportunity to do so. But if you want to get the chance to win, man, we have first place should be 2 pyramid mats, which if you've seen how amazing those look, and $150 to first place as well by them. That's definitely going to be something you want to check out, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. So like I said, I'll leave a link down below to our Discord. It'll be in the Tournament of Madness channel for you guys to find that. And of course, let's go dig into some super heavy samurais. I'm not a 800 IQ wizard. I do not know all the combo lines from this, but I do wanna talk about what my friend Kabal Bam sent me here in terms of new super heavy samurai stuff. He religiously plays this deck. Like, he has such a fun time playing this, and he's like, it is actually so nice to have cards that don't suck now for his deck. So I do want to talk about that. Now, there is a Beyond the Pendulum, like, 1-card combo that this deck can do because of Prodigy here and the big Benki, but that would force you to, kind of play more of these in your deck to kind of get that value that you really need out of that. And I do want to kind of point that out. Like, the pendulum scales are generically good option trees for this deck, but it feels like there's a little bit more to be desired in the way of these. All right, so at least for this video and discussing this, the pendulum scales can be a little bit more gimmicky of an afterthought here. But Prodigy Wakashi here, I'm just bringing you up to speed on these things. You can only use the pendulum effect this card's name once per turn. So if you have no spell and trap cards in your graveyard, you can place a super heavy samurai pendulum monster for your deck in your pendulum zone, except for this card, and then special summon this card. All right, so bada bing, bada boom, you've got this up, ready to go, and it is a machine tuner. All right, and then, God, I love this thing. Your monster effect, if you have no spell and trap cards in graveyard, you can discard 1 monster. Special summon 1 super heavy samurai monster for your hand or deck in defense position, and it cannot be special summoned. You can't special summon for this turn except for super heavy samurai monsters. Unfortunately, if you use that effect, that is going to lock you into super heavy samurai, but that's fine. If this synchro summoned material is added to the extra deck face up, you can place it in your pendulum zone. Technically, you don't have to use the other effect of this. You can come back around to it and then just load up another monster to do Beyond the Pendulum shenanigans, but that's fine. Now, the big Benki here. So you can only use pendulum effect this card's name once per turn. So if you control a super heavy samurai monster, you can have 1 super heavy samurai soul from your deck to your hand. Interesting little clause there, so it does generate a +1. If you have no spell and trap cards in your graveyard, you can send 1 super heavy samurai Benki from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so you will get the ability to bring out the big guy. And if this card is used as synchro material and added to the extra deck face up, you can place it back in your pendulum zone. So straight off the bat, The pendulum scale recurability is good. All right, they did a very solid job with making sure that whatever that they were aiming to do with these scales, that you would get reusability out of them, which is really good for the most part here. So let's get into the deck here, because we've explained like the universal pendulum scale system and your viability for this. So we're playing the One Ancient Gearbox. You gotta love the fact that stepping on into this guy is I mean, everything in this deck is Earth except for your Bysteals. So that's very important to kind of consider here. So we are playing one Druis Worm, 2 Magna Hut, and 1 Saronir. You can cut Saronir for the new one that will be out in Photon Hypernova if you really need to in terms of adjusting your Bysteel ratios. But there are a 4-slot dedication here for you to basically use these monsters as ways to make sure that, hey, you know, I can answer these problems with the format, all right? So these are perfectly adjustable with whatever hand traps that you might need. Now, Samurai Bike here was amazing. So if you have no spell and traps in your graveyard, you can discard this card, add a super heavy Samurai monster from your deck to your hand, except for a copy of itself, all right? So this is our new searcher. It is also a tuner. Once per turn, you target 1 machine monster you control that has a level and increase its level by 2. I don't think that's going to come up all that much, but that is very, very, very strong nonetheless here. We have 1 copy of Samurai Fist, and then we have 2 copies of the Flutist. Pretty much, Flutist has remained in low numbers for this deck for actually a very long time. I don't think we're going to change that anytime soon. We have 1 Big Benki and triple copies of the Wakashi. We have triple copies of Scales. And then we have 1 copy of the Superheavy Samurai Soul Claw. Then we have triple copies of the Soul Gaia Bastar. So you can only use effect of this card's name once per turn. So you can target 1 Super Heavy Samurai monster you control, equip this card from your hand to or field to it. It becomes treated as a tuner monster. Well, that's fine and dandy, sure. If you have no spell and traps in your graveyard while this card is equipped to a monster by its own effect, you can special summon this card. Well, on my way to get my free body up on the field so we can capitalize and continue to play the game. Then we have 1 copy of Soul Horns, triple copies of the Soul Peacemaker, triple copies of Soul Piercer. If you notice, a lot of these old pieces are still maintaining. Then we have 2 copies of Samurai Spy. I've heard interesting talk about this card, whether or not it ends up being something that sticks around for this deck or not. But Spy here, you only special summon this card the first effect this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect this card's name once per turn. So if you have no spell and traps in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Interesting take on that. If you have no spell and traps in your graveyard, quick effect, you contribute this card, target 1 spell or trap in your opponent's graveyard. Send it to your field, but banish it when it leaves the field. My friend was talking about wanting to maybe consider playing this as a one-of. I love the options that this card does bring to the deck, though, because this basically is a grave robber for you to set up and take advantage of those particulars from your opponent. Whether or not, you know, that ends up working out in the end, I think it's fine, but card is amazing. We also have triple copies of the Super Heavy Samurai Trumpeter, triple copies of Samurai Wagon, and then we have triple copies of Regulus here. We're still actually focusing on Regulus because this card is still very, very solid at the end of the day. Extra deck down here, you got triple copies of the Scarecrow, alright, and then we have 1 copy of Ballista. And we're actually playing 1 Merrymaker here. Now, if this card is special from the extra deck, you can send 1 Spriggan's monster from your deck to the graveyard. We don't care about that. Alright, we care that this is an immediate step up here to Sargass. Alright, so you can also exceed summon this by using, you know, our other friend down there. Alright, and then if this card has material, you can add a Spriggan's or Thurion's card from your deck to your hand. It's basically 2 level 4s, gives you the ability to step into Sargass, which searches for Regulus here, which, in terms of bursting down damage, is going to be really, really strong. Alright, we have 1 Girgian Extra Searching, 1 Zeus, and 1 Abyssal. Then we have 1 Warlord Susanoo, 1 Musashi. Then we have the 1 Overlord Masaru here. This thing can attack from defense as per usual. If a Super Heavy Samurai monster you control will be destroyed by a card effect, destroy a Super Heavy Samurai you control instead. So we do have a protection clause. And then once per turn, if your opponent activates a spell or trap card or effect, you can draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. I find that particular effect to be very interesting. Then we have 1 Ogre Shundoji, and then we have 1 of the new General Shanao. This is such an interesting card as well. So you only use Pendulum effect this card's name once per turn. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you special summon this card. Then if you have no spell and trap cards in your graveyard, change that opponent's monster's attack to 0 and their effects are negated. Our Pendulum effect, so it's a tuner, or monster effect is a tuner plus non-tuner to make it. It can attack from defense position, alright, and then once per turn, During the battle phase, if you control the Synchro Summon card quick effect, you can special summon one Super Heavy Samurai card in your graveyard or face-up spell and trip card zone, and then place this card in your Pendulum zone. So it does get the ability to rotate itself into the Pendulum zone so you can load up the protection effect, which is not bad. And then, of course, we have one Baron. Side deck here is pretty much all the hand traps in the world. We have triple Ash, triple Spooky Dogwood, triple Fenrir, triple Gamma, 2 copies of Thief, and then we have one driver here wrapping up Kapow Bam's take for Super Heavy Samurai. So, what do you think? Please, of course, leave a comment down below for the goodies today, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.